Hello, my name is Stacy Zotter, and I'm a loss mitigation negotiator. I designed this series of videos to provide homeowners who are currently going through or getting ready to go through foreclosure with some basic information about the foreclosure process, with the intent of hoping to equip you with the information that you need to be able to make wise decisions. Topics that we're going to cover in this series include things like, what does it mean to be in foreclosure? What are my options? Who do I turn to? If I'm in foreclosure, how much time do I really have? Does the lender really have the right to repossess my house? Who can help me out of foreclosure? What options really are there out there, and do I need help to execute on those options? So I'm hoping you'll find this series a very helpful one, and let's go ahead and get started with what is foreclosure. I do need to state a disclaimer to say that what I am providing is simply information. It is not to be construed as legal advice. I am not an attorney, but I certainly do recommend that if you do have questions about this, that you would consult an attorney. So let's begin by defining what foreclosure means. According to dictionary.com, to foreclose is to deprive you, the mortgager, of your right to redeem mortgage property when payments have not been made. When you signed the promissory note, when you took out your loan to purchase your house, you promised to pay that back. When you don't pay it back, then the lender can come after that property as collateral, seize that property, and then they will sell it to try and recover what you didn't pay them. When you've missed 2 months worth of payments, you're in what's known as a default on the loan. You've defaulted on the loan, but you're not yet in foreclosure. The foreclosure proceedings won't begin until your mortgage lender or the bank submits paperwork to an attorney to initiate their right to foreclose on property. Now, the second scenario is that you really cannot afford your house anymore. If that is the case, then what I would recommend to do is to look into the possibility of refinancing, where you could lower your monthly mortgage payment. The other alternative is to look at selling your house, and for that I would definitely not recommend that you try a for sale by owner, just based on the amount of time that it takes to do for sale by owners in this market. I think your best bet is just to hire a professional realtor who can help you sell your house quickly. Again, I would pick up the phone. If you do make that decision, call your lender and let them know that's what you are doing, that you're trying to sell the house and recover from the debt that you owe them and get them paid off. So they can give you, that will buy you some time. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is if you're in foreclosure, how much time do you have to leave the house? I think there's this misperception out there that the sheriff's going to show up at your house in 2 weeks after you receive this paperwork, and he's going to change the locks on your and escort you out of the house and give you an hour to get all your stuff out. Well, that's just not the reality of it. You really do have time, but the clock is ticking, and you need to take action as quickly as possible. So no matter what option you choose, you need to do it today and not wait and think. I think some people tend to kind of, if I ignore it, maybe it'll go away. I guarantee you this is not going to go away. This is something that you need to deal with right now. The sooner you deal with it, the less late fees, the less attorney's fees, the less other fees that they'll tack on to your payment, the less debt you'll incur the sooner you take care of this. So I always encourage people to do that. But speaking specifically to how much time, it really varies from state to state. In North Carolina, typically from the time the first notice is received, you have approximately 45 days until a hearing date. After that hearing date, when you go and meet with somebody from the court as well as a representative from the lender's attorney, and you cannot do anything to get out of foreclosure at that point. You haven't sold your house, you haven't established more of an income or anything like that. At that point, then it's a 21-day period from the time that they will have the auction sale, and then after that sells, then you'll have an additional period of 2 to 3 weeks before you need to be out of the house. But there definitely are ways that you can delay the foreclosure proceedings, legitimate ways, legal ways that we can discuss about how to delay the proceeding. Unfortunately, something that I've encountered in the past are homeowners who say, I've been paying for this house all this time. I've lived in this house for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and I've made all these payments. Does the lender really have the right to repossess my house, to take my house? And unfortunately, the answer is yes. Even though you only missed a few payments and have paid so many others, the mortgage documents or deeds of trust that we talked about earlier that you signed when you filed for that loan, it gives the lender the right to foreclose and repossess the property once you've defaulted on your payments for a certain length of time. In the second part of this video series, I'll look forward to discussing with you who some of the professionals are that you can rely on to help you stop foreclosure. Until then, I wish you well.